Welcome back, everybody, to Indianapolis. I am Mappamonte. This is Joe Lissette. Getting ready to kick off round number 7 out of 8 here. Playing a bunch of Pioneer. We've seen a lot of the same decks start to rise to the top here.
Not last round.
What did you guys watch last round?
Last round we had Feather winning, which was exciting.
That's cool.
Big comeback over a sweeper at the end of Game 3.
Sweet.
So that was the first match was Salty Delirium versus Inverter. We've seen a few of those, but yeah, Feather took it down. Should be in contention still for top 8. That's
okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing that run again in the future. Not this round, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we have this round we have Bant Spirits versus Blue Black Inverter, and then Mono Red versus Mono White. So somehow we found mono-colored decks for still sticking around here, even in the combo decks, the Inverter decks. Kind of everywhere at the top tables. I've seen less of the Lotus deck.
Yes.
I don't know if it's there was a lot 2 or 3 rounds ago, but it's kind of tapered off as we've start to cut up here.
They're not doing well.
Yeah.
I think it was the second biggest deck in the field.
Oh wow!
And I think I saw one in the top dozen tables when I looked 2 rounds ago, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not going well.
Yeah, there was also a lot of pairings that they got that was against Mono Red, which I saw was probably pretty tough.
Yeah,
pairings.
That's rough, but still there was, I don't know how many people were playing it, 20.
Yeah.
And they didn't all have bad matchups.
Yeah, for it to be absent is definitely interesting. So we're gonna jump down to our first feature match here. We have Kyle Gunn on the left playing Bant Spirits versus Andrew Waltice, who we saw earlier playing Blueback Inverter. He got run down the last time, right? So he's trying to get a W here, and he's on the play. All right.
Well, it's always nice to be on the play. Always nice to have your tap lands just get into play freely with no consequences.
Yeah. All right, so here comes a Mausoleum Wanderer for Kyle.
Not the best matchup for it. Boy, we saw last round. Mausoleum Wanderer versus Feather has dozens of targets.
Yeah.
And the Feather deck doesn't usually have extra land drops. Against Inverter, there's going to be a couple targets, and a lot of times there will be extra land.
Huh. Andrew goes ahead and leads off on a Fatal Push on that Mausoleum Wanderer. Plays a Island, and then sends it back Kyle's way.
That's fine. If we're thinking we're gonna killing it anyway, may as well do it before Rattle Chains can protect it and before it gets in for 1 damage.
Sure.
So often players wait until the next end step to cast a removal spell and just take the 1 damage, and that's okay. But over the course of a year, you might be taking 50 extra points of damage for no reason.
A year is the benchmark we use, and that's good. I like that.
I just I wanted to have a big number and
go nuts. There's
and
another Fatal Push.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Andrew is doing rather nicely here. A couple Fatal Pushes. Definitely what the doctor ordered in this matchup is perfect.
No board, 20 life points, and
Omen of the Sea.
Nothing came in. Yeah. This is looking good for Andrew. Nice start.
Yeah, Andrew looks like in his scry for this Omen, there's another Fatal Push and a Dig Through time on there. So
okay, did we take them both?
He took the Fatal Push.
Okay, just took the push.
Dig went to the bottom.
Do we not? We
don't
have the 4th land. Yeah. Yep.
There's Rattle Chains. See what Andrew decides here. I think you got to let that one go.
I think, okay. I mean, doing that's fine. I was thinking maybe we're saving our mana to just sacrifice the Omen at the end of the turn.
That's kind of what I was thinking. All right,
okay, we'll just keep the life total high.
Yeah.
Shocking that in. That is suggestive of what Kyle might be playing this turn.
Right, so Andrew draws up. It's like there's a 4th land there. And there's a Watery Grave. Shocks in.
We are 1 card short in Kyle's graveyard from drawing the luck being able to counter Collect the Company.
Yep.
I think there actually is one in hand. That's a little painful.
All right, so here comes Collect the Company for Kyle. How many of these Brazen Burrows? He's got 3 Brazen Burrows in his deck.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It is. It is. Honorary Spirit Brazen Borrower. So.
Okay.
You see a Supreme Phantom.
Do we flash in? I mean, no, sorry, flash in. Do we expend this removal spell immediately? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so Andrew's going to go ahead and fire off that Drown in the Lock onto Supreme Phantom. Again, trying to keep his life total, looks like as high as possible here.
Mm-hmm.
This Brazen Bar going to come crashing in for 3, so Andrew's down to 15. But I think Kyle has just a bunch of Spell Quellers. And he's in decent shape.
2nd Jade Strawn. That's... yes. Well, if there's an Inverter, or
I think
we'll
he has
draw
one
eventually, we can just run out these Jaces, and them going into the graveyard is not all that bad. But again, in Spirits, the counters don't send your spells to the graveyard.
Right.
they leave them on the board in suspension.
Yeah, so the Spell Queller comes down and snags this Jace. And, I mean, Andrew has another one, but there's another Spell Queller hanging out there in Kyle's hand, I believe.
Well, Andrew is not going to win this game playing 4-mana spells one at a time while just getting beat down by Brazen Borrower and Assorted Spirit Friends over the next few turns.
Yeah, Kyle's thinking he has Supreme Phantom and a Selfless Spirit. Looks like he wants to deploy this turn, and he's going to go for that line, it looks like. All right.
Boy, this is going to hurt. This is just, Brazen Borrower is not a spirit, correct?
Correct.
This is 6 coming in?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Andrew, who was at 20, I think, on turn 4, is now near death on turn 6.
I mean, there's an Inverter.
Collecting Company is very strong, though. And we saw, I mean, a removal spell was expended to deal with half a Collecting Company. And in the process, Andrew fell behind on the board.
Is this just 4 removal spells in Andrew's deck now? Is it triple push and a Drown in the Lock, though?
Okay.
I mean, there's a Selfless Spirit in play, but, you know, Kyle's going to have to give up the Selfless Spirit if he wants his creatures to survive this turn here. All right, let's see what Kyle ends up doing.
Well,
yeah, there's just Andrew's deck is just 4 removal spells.
That's an interesting way to see this play out.
Yeah.
What is Kyle going to do?
Empyrean Eagle?
Boy, okay.
All right, so he attacks, and Andrew's going to block the biggest one.
3, 4, 5,
I think it's
6,
8 total.
7,
Could be
8,
9.
9. I think it's 9.
9 exactly?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work.
So he has to yeah, so it's 9
yeah.
exactly. All right, well, Kyle Gunn going to get there. Walt Tyson was close again. He was like a 1 turn away again, so Kyle Gunn.
Yeah, I mean, he did. His life total was high. He did use removal spells on kind of minor creatures. Like we were out of removal and the Spell Queller started coming, which is unfortunate, but we would have also had a lot lower life total.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say that he played the game wrong. It was just the way that the Collecting Company spewed out 2 more guys, and he couldn't keep up.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the sideboards here. So for Kyle Gunn, he has 2 Archangel Avacyn, 4 Mystical Disputes, 2 Damping Spheres, Deputy Detention, Settle the Wreckage, 2 Rest in Peace, and 3 Reflector Mage. These are pretty good ones.
Yeah. Reflector Mage is probably, I mean, there's frequently a 6/6 flyer and it's kind of roadblock, although, well, this game he just went right around it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. Deputy Detention probably seems even better.
Yeah. Rest in Peace a card you want to?
Well, that's, I mean, it shuts off, I think
it's tough, right?
Yeah, it shuts off Dig Through Time, obviously. We've talked about these things before. It shuts off Drown in the Lock.
Yeah.
The fact that if this was a list with no Drown in the Locks, that sways you one way. But there obviously are, since one got played that game, so that pushes you back towards wanting it. I think I would play it. I think I'd bring him in.
Okay. How do you feel about, like, Archangel Avacyn? Is that a card you want in this matchup?
I don't think so. I mean, there was a lot of removal, but it's all going to be, like that game, all the removal had been spent before Kyle was even on 5 mana.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, so taking a peek down there at Andrew Walt Ice's deck, he has a Cry of the Carnarium, a Witch's Vengeance, that one's good, a Languish, 2 Agonizing Remorse, a Mystical Dispute, Negate, Kalidas, Trader of Get, 2 Damping Sphere, a Legion's End, a Murderous Rider, and 3 Pack Rat. He's got some decent ones again, like Languish and Witch's Vengeance are really stellar.
I like both of those. I like the Mystical Dispute. I think I like Legion's End also.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Legion's End. I think that's okay.
Maybe even depending on how many cards he wants to take out. Like all the removal is reasonable.
Yeah.
To have here, even Negate probably really only gets company at that point in the game, but maybe that's worth doing.
Yeah, it only gets the collect company.
I mean, because if Rest in Peace comes in, that's going to come down early if it's drawn anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't want to bother with Negate, but the sweepers are definitely good. I'm sorry, the 3 and 4 sweeper.
Right,
Which is
not Cry of the Carnarium.
Cry, I think, is too small.
Yeah.
If you're unfamiliar with Witch's Vengeance, it's 3 mana, and it's -3/-3 to a creature type of your choice.
Correct, yep. So Spirits is obviously the choice here.
Yeah.
It's a little interesting in Kyle's deck list. So you mentioned Brazen Borrower is one of those cards. He has all these Deputy Detentions as well that won't fold to that. So he has some cards that are good, but I mean, Witch's Vengeance is coming in. It's a no-brainer to come in. It just it has some applications where it could get awkward for Andrew, but either way, it's a sweeper that has to come in.
I think the Mausoleum Wanderers get better in the sideboard games. There's more spells to hit that cost a lot of mana.
Yeah, we watched a game earlier. It might have been you and I, but there was like Languish is a card that you're going to want to play around typically, and they can't cast it on 4 if you have a Wanderer because you just sacrifice it. So it slows them down enough for you to be able to crash in for extra points of damage.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we're going to jump down to game number 2 here. Andrew going to be on the play against Kyle's Spirits deck. And Andrew going to lead off on Fable Passage and send it back.
So it looks like there's a Thassa's Oracle, a Wide Reed Grave, and maybe a Drown in the Loch in Andrew's hand.
All right.
So he's at least got his early mana established. Kyle, no one dropped this game.
Drown in the Loch's an interesting card in Pioneer right now. There's not really fetch lands. Obviously, Fable Passage is it. So you really rely on your opponent to fill it up. You kill a bunch of their things with these Fatal Pushes and such. But it's an interesting inclusion in these decks. It's just a one-up here, I think.
And, this matchup in particular seems not ideal for it because Kyle's not putting any cards on his own. He's not putting anything in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And really, so this Drown in the Loch, whereas against a lot of decks, it's going to be a hard counter or kill anything on turn 3. Here, even on turn 5 or 6, it's going to be limited in what it can do sometimes.
Right. And Andrew's taking a peek at 2 cards. I thought I saw Cry the Carnarium, but I really don't think that card would have come in.
I don't either.
We'll see what he's got here. Looks like Urborg and something else. All right, sends it back Kyle's way. Picks up another land. And he's going to go ahead and stick Selfless Spirit down here. How do you feel about playing that Thassa's Oracle on turn 2 just right away? I think that is Cry the Carnarium there, partner.
I think if you only hit 2 lands, then you absolutely play it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's not great though, has nothing to block. Boy, I don't know. Maybe this card will work out great, but I feel like this is a situation where you just bottom both cards on the Thassa.
Yeah,
Oracle.
It's definitely interesting to me. I don't know. I don't love it, but
I mean, what's the ideal scenario here? Because trading it for just a Selfless Spirit is not worthwhile.
he plays like another Mausoleum Wanderer here or something like that. Another Selfless Spirit maybe.
But even against a Mausoleum Wanderer, you're not getting a 2-for-1 because it's just going to sacrifice. Yeah. I guess, in that case, if you don't have the 4th land, but we do have the land.
Yeah, so Andrew picks up a 4th land, and he's just attacking in here. Kyle looks like he's got a Mystical Dispute and a Brazen Borrower hanging out, so he's got some tools.
Andrew has a Fatal Push.
Yeah. He has a Jace as well. He's just kind of hanging out and waiting around, so Andrew going to let that Brazen Borrower resolve. I mean, now I look like an idiot because the Cry the Carnarium looks pretty good on this board.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was against bringing it in also.
Yeah.
But yeah. And we also, I believe, a split on creature types, so Witch's Vengeance wouldn't get both of them.
Right. Entertaining stuff here. So the only real blowout here is now Kyle does have that Collected Company, so a Lord draw could be bad. Well, Andrew going to try and stick that one
This
here.
could lead to an unbelievably good Cry of Carnarium.
It sure could. All right, so Andrew going to lead off on Thoughtseize here, and Kyle has some decisions to make. I mean, there's no way he doesn't fire this Collected Company off here. There's no way. It takes some incredible discipline to just say, all right, you got it.
Because how many sweepers would you expect your opponent to bring in? 2 tops?
2 maybe.
I mean, there are 3, but you wouldn't expect that necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's not even necessarily true that all of them are likely to kill all your creatures.
Yeah.
And they're okay. There is company. Like, even if there was a Witch's Vengeance, the Brazen Bar would live.
Yeah.
So, I think playing this is totally fine. And
he's going to get paid off. Is that a Supreme Phantom?
There's a Mausoleum Wanderer, which is going to blow the whole thing to pieces.
Yeah.
Yep. So now it's just not going to work.
Yeah, Mausoleum Wanderer is real bad there for Andrew.
Yeah.
So he gets to look here, and he'll take the Imperial Eagle, the Lord here, and hope that he gets another turn.
This is not a good hand to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all this. There's a ton of stuff on the board. Your opponent has a counter.
Yeah.
A protection spell that's also a creature.
You see Mausoleum Wanderer there, yeah.
Nebelgast Herald to tap down an Inverter if you happen to play one to block. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yep. Andrew's life total is going to drop very quickly. And this is Andrew's turn. Plus, he's lose 2 from the Thoughtseize.
Right.
He might. I mean, I don't think he's down the board, but 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not.
He's got Fatal Push, which he can try and relieve some pressure.
Yep.
And there goes
that.
one.
Okay, so that turns on the cry to kill some of the
Two
creatures
things.
next turn. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, when your opponent has to take a minute to think about which of their creatures they're going to use to trade for your removal spell that you're casting.
Yeah.
Selfless Spirit or Muslim Wanderer. Yeah, that's not happy.
All right, so this is going to be a crack in for 7 here, I believe, if Kyle decides to attack with everything, which I'd be shocked if he does not.
Boy, I'm not even sure I really respect the Spirits deck all that much, but he's blowing the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
I was like, this deck doesn't do a lot of stuff that I'm interested in doing,
Yeah.
but, man, it's been crushing people all day.
Yeah, it sure has. And at the Players' Tour, I think the results showed that actually Blue-White Spirits did significantly better than Bant Spirits.
Interesting.
Maybe that's the case here, too. I haven't even seen Blue-White Spirits, but Bant Spirits is just beating people all over the room.
And there's another Thassa's Oracle. Doesn't do anything here for Andrew.
Another Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, that is not going to cut it.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we could scry look at 4 cards while we die in the air.
Yeah, he's pretty priced into jamming this Cry of the Carnarium that just doesn't do a lot.
Well, the Cry does a lot.
It kills his 2 creatures.
I mean, he knows about the mystical disputes.
Right.
Going to get countered.
Right. Yeah, can't do anything. Yeah, I think Andrew's about to die here.
Yeah. And then there's a Rattle Chains in hand too. Even if it resolves, we're still taking 4 in the air next turn.
Yeah, and I mean he knows that that dispute's there. So even no matter what he does, he's dead.
I think that's why Andrew is stopping to think here, because he's like, well, I can't do this because I know I'll die, and I can't do this because I know I'll die. So I guess do I do nothing and die? The alternatives all seem to lead to the same
they're
result.
all death. Everything's death here. Wow. Yeah, Kyle's gonna pick up a W here really quickly. Yeah, Kyle's gonna launch that Nebelgast Herald. So you got anything for me or what, man? Yeah, I mean Andrew's dead.
No need to overthink this. Just
just attack. All right, and Andrew's dead. Wow. Yeah, he had Cry of the Carnarium, which just didn't really do anything. Yeah. All right, so Kyle Gunn gonna go to I think 6-1 now. So pretty good. Looking to draw with somebody in the final round here to punch his ticket.
If he finds a dance partner, he'll definitely be down for that.
Cool. Unfortunate for Andrew Waltice. Had a decent run today.
Yeah.
Both matches we watched his on camera unfortunately took L's in, so he's probably going to be very upset with us. Let's see here. So we've got
red versus white?
Yeah, it's red versus white, man. So here is Robert Litfin, who was a competitor in our championship last year. He has the mono red deck. I actually watched him play earlier. He's the player I mentioned was playing against Lotus Field. And he was playing Eidolon of the Great Revel instead of Abbot of Carol Keep.
Oh, he's playing the main deck.
He's playing the main deck. Yep, there's 4 here on the main deck. So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them in sideboards.
Yeah, so he's playing 4 in the main deck there. And he's playing against Caleb Spicer, who we watched earlier play that mono white aggro deck. I think Wyatt and I watched that one actually together. So, but this is interesting. Man, Litfin's deck looks good. We'll jump down there. His deck looks pretty good against this Lightning Strikes, Slashes, Bone Crusher Giants.
Rampaging Ferocidon is going to be nice.
Yeah.
This is mono white devotion, or is this more like an aggro?
An aggressive. It's like it's like a bunch of 1-drops basically. So there is a couple 1-drops at the table. Monastery Swift Spear. And Caleb Spicer has a Plains, and I think that's Venerable Knight right there.
Okay. That's a 2/1 when it dies, a counter goes somewhere?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Okay. All right.
Savannah Alliance has been surpassed so many times.
It's crazy, man.
And that was a rare.
It's funny to think about nowadays. I got an argument with a bunch of people on Twitter about Tarmogoyf being basically unplayable now because of Fatal Push, things like that, and just that creatures like Gurmag Angler you're able to play for one mana basically nowadays, and it's like, all right, well, how do I beat these things?
Tarmogoyf has definitely went downhill for a couple of years and then came back and maybe went down again, but it's been pretty ever-present. It's probably won as many modern games as any other card ever.
Yeah, that's true. All right, you see Kari Zev for Robert. And now let's bring us Benelish Marshall there for Caleb. Going to pump up the team a little bit.
How many declaration and stunts do we have in the main deck? That's
3.
Okay,
yeah,
wow.
that's another one we saw.
Yeah.
We watched Caleb played against the Insol Artifact deck, and he got to Declaration Stone and Insoled thing, and that was pretty good for him. So here comes Robert with a Monastery Swift Spear, and this Karizev and Ragavan going to attack in.
Well, that's all great and everything, but we need to kill this Benelish Marshall.
Yeah, the Marshall is a big time.
And if we're not doing it to get the Power Sticker, then I would assume it's not going to happen.
Yeah. All right. So Caleb says, no, I'm not going to block here. And Sheffet Dunes. We got Thalia's Lieutenant here. Looks like Mardu Woe Reaper is the card hanging out in hand. That's Mardu Woe Reaper.
That's one that picks off graveyard cards?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that one is Boros Elite.
I remember that one.
That one was in a standard deck for a while,
Yeah.
I think. A standard aggressive deck.
But this is... Wait, this is...
Like a shock coming out.
Oh, damn, this Benelish Marshall is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, the Marshall's a 4/4 now, so that's pretty big. And Litfin's under the gun.
Yeah, and boy, we have... it's not too often I feel like turn 2 Karizev immediately is too afraid to attack.
Well, that Chandra was a good pickup.
Yes, it was.
That's a heater.
Yeah.
And Brave the Elements for Caleb Spicer.
Oh, man.
So he has braved the Chandra.
Robert Litfin, boy, you had it set up, you tried, and you...
That's a blowout.
Yeah.
That's what we call in the business a blowout.
Yeah.
And now Thalia's Lieutenant comes flying off the top. Yeah, Caleb's in great shape now.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy
Do you even
cow.
bother with Chandra here?
I think you just go straight
go
to the
straight,
melon.
yeah.
Yeah, whatever. You want to block, go nuts.
Maybe you send one guy. That way you can't
That's
get
fair.
tricked into sending too much.
That's fair.
Just send the smallest one there. And
Yeah, I mean,
the smallest one is still going to be Robert's going to be chump blocking.
sure. Wow, I thought that Chandra was going to be game-changing, and instead, Brave the Elements.
Yeah, I thought it was going to bring Robert back into the game.
Yeah, there are 4 Brave the Elements in Caleb's deck, by the way. So
Sure, why not?
see that on the screen here?
So that we're playing that because that protects all your guys instead of God's Willing.
Yeah, it protects all of them. So choose a
Yeah.
color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. So Caleb chose red, protected from the Chandra minus, and gets to keep that Benelish Marshall, which is now conveniently out of range.
Okay, so we do see
Litfin with a chump.
Swift Spear absorbing 5 damage.
I just don't know how Robert comes back here, though.
So this is, in comparison to God's Willing, so we're basically giving up a scry to protect all our creatures. I wonder if whether the Feather deck or this deck is playing the wrong card, or if they're both playing the correct card, because the decks are different enough.
Different deck, yeah. Yeah, could be. Wow. That was special. Those back-to-back runners, and Litfin has...
At 2, and we flip Eidolon off Chandra.
He has Eidolon. He has another Eidolon in hand, actually, as well.
Don't cast both of them.
Yeah, so Caleb Spicer going to win game number 1 with his mono white aggro deck. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Brave the Elements just...
Yeah, that was a blowout.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll check out the sideboards here in a second. I've seen this deck a little bit now. His sideboard looks like it's going to be really good, actually, against mono red. So on Caleb's end, there's a Deafening Silence, a Damping Sphere of Fragmentize, a Gideon Ally of Zendikar, 2 Gideon's Intervention, 2 Glare of Heresy. There's Authority of the Consuls, 2 Fiendslayer Paladins, 2 Rest in Peace, and 2 Knight of Grace. Lots of good ones in here.
All right. Authority of the Consul is... I don't even...
So that's the
sure what that one
the
is.
1-mana enchantment. Did you ever play the Approach to the Second Sun deck?
Okay,
In standard, so it's a 1-mana enchantment. Creatures enter the battlefield tapped, and you gain a life each time one enters the battlefield.
Okay.
So it's kind of like was it Blind Obedience? Was the
Yeah,
the
that's
card?
the one I was...
It's just like that.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, so knocking down haste by itself is already...
Fantastic
Yeah.
against the red deck.
Yeah.
Fiendslayer Paladin, you remember that one? That one's a beating against the red
That's
decks.
gonna be good. Yeah, that's going to be great. All right, what do we got on mono red side?
So mono red, 4 Scab Clan Berserker, 3 Red Cat Melee, 3 Mizium Mortars, 2 more Chandras, and 3 Tormod's Crypt. Not a lot. The mortars are okay.
Yeah, the mortars are okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's the good side.
Yeah. Yeah, Scab Clan Berserker just has no text really in this matchup.
No, this is the combo sideboard, which is I think wise to bring to this event, but it's not going to help now.
Red Cat Melee is interesting to be a sideboard card in this deck. Like, if I guess you expect a bunch of mirrors.
Sure, you shoot a red creature and then you sacrifice a land if it's
non-red, I believe.
Yeah,
We'll bring up Red Cat Melee just to double check our info.
I think that's what it is.
But I think you sack a land or something like that if it's non-red creature.
Right. Yeah.
Tormod's Crypt, no text really.
Nope.
Mizium Mortars is fine, but I mean, you got to survive a while. But he's going to need ways to get rid of the marshals.
Yeah.
You got to find ways.
Red Cat Melee gets rid of it, but I don't really want any part of that.
And here you go, 4 damage. Yeah. Sacrifice a land. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's okay.
I don't know. I think you're going to see Mortars, and if you want more, I think you bring in the other Chandras.
Okay.
I'm not happy about that because we're trading all the mana. And, I mean, this last game we traded 4 mana for Brave the Elements, and that did not go well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Caleb's deck in this post-board config. It looks good. It looked good game 1. The Brave the Elements obviously was a beating, but his creatures are going to outscale Litfin's, and he's going to be able to gain some life probably incidentally with the with the authority of the console. So we'll see what happens here in game number 2.
Robert has some cards to board out.
Yeah.
Certainly. Eidolon, I can't imagine. Maybe Eidolon stays in going first.
Could be.
Maybe. But I'm not even convinced of that, and I really don't think you want to go in second.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure about Ferocidon. I suppose that's fine. But, yeah, this is going to be tough.
All right, so here's a Monastery Swiftspear coming in. And Caleb down in 19, it looks like. All right, so.
All right, Eidolon here would be okay. I mean, Soul Scrummage is solid.
Okay. All right, so.
So Caleb has options on what he wants to do. Change his mind.
Huh. Yeah, he has a Thalia's Lieutenant in hand, and you just kind of wait it around. Having no 1-drops in your deck full of 1-drops is interesting to me here. He's got, I mean, he's got a ton. He has 19 1-drops in his deck.
Wow. They might not also in the deck, but yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you boarded out every single one of them, there'd still be 4.
Right, exactly. So there's Tomic.
Okay.
Distinguished Advocate, and then...
Is it possible we were just slow playing so we can keep Brave the Elements available?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but
I don't think we care about protecting Tomic all that badly.
No.
I mean, it would be good in this case, but I still don't think we're doing it. We can just send in the Giant for 4 here, even if we have nothing else. 4 is a lot of damage. I don't think.
Yeah.
See a chump block, and then.
Yeah, Litvin's going to send everything in. Okay.
All right. Well, then we've got something going on. Woo.
Blocks the Giant.
All right. Pass.
Gonna let it go?
Good. Yeah, there you go. Pass. Take 2.
Okay.
Up a card.
All right.
Massively ahead on board.
Yeah, sure. Another land for Caleb. Looks like it. Is he going to flood the board now? Well, there's Dauntless Bodyguard. Thalia's Lieutenant. And he has another, Litvin has another Stomp, but there's a Brave.
Okay.
And that card is actually in the graveyard now, I believe. Does it still go on an adventure? I think it goes to the graveyard here.
I think you're right. Yeah, because it doesn't resolve.
It fizzles, yeah.
I think it has to resolve to go on an adventure. Yep.
So Litvin's card probably going to get put in the graveyard here, I would assume.
There we go.
All right. Caleb's back in the game, kind of, I guess. He's at 14. That's pretty high.
That is a pretty high amount of life, and
I think Litvin just on 3 lanes. I don't know what that last card is. Mizium Mortars is the last card.
Okay, we're 1 mana away from being able to kick that.
Yeah. I was going to send it to the Dauntless Bodyguard anyways.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Caleb's going to scoop him up. Wow. He just said forget it.
Robert only had 1 card left.
Yeah.
And how much were we taking there? Like, if we blocked, we were going to 10?
Yeah, he was going to take 10. Yeah, he was going to go to 10. Huh.
That seems
so you let it go. Yeah.
Possibly, at least.
Yeah, just let it go. All right.
Interesting.
Either way, Robert Litvin picks up game number 2. So game number 3 is going to probably look similar. I mean, Litvin needs like a bunch of those removal. He had double Stomp there. He had Mizium Mortars. He had a lot of stuff going on. So Litvin looked pretty good that game.
Yeah, still, I'm still kind of surprised the game ended like that.
Yeah, me too. You see Robert Litvin here. Again, he was a competitor in our 2019 NRG Championship. He has 1 top 8 and 1 win. Pretty good conversion rate.
Yeah.
So he's from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. 24, he's a tax analyst. Let's see what he's got here. Favorite Magic deck is Painter and Legacy.
Okay.
All right, that's interesting.
I saw yesterday being a Valentine's Day, I saw a poem written It was about. I don't remember all of it, but it started out: roses are red, painter name's red, your deck is red. I think you're dead.
Nice.
I
All
think
right.
that was the
big
poem.
Fan. Big
Something
fan.
I might have missed a word here or two.
That sounds
here or
good.
there, but that was
That was
approximately
good.
what the poem was.
That's good. Actively hoping for a Curd Ape reprint in Ikora Lair of Behemoths. Curd Ape reprint. Is Curd Ape standard playable? Is it a playable card, you think?
Probably.
Think so?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
probably fine, right?
Yeah.
All right. Most frequently used emoji is whatever that is.
I don't know what that is. Is that somebody like?
Is it a wink or a cry?
Smiling and then like with a dimple that?
I don't know, man.
Trying to
Favorite card?
I don't know why I like turned my head to look at these sideways.
Yeah,
It
when you
doesn't
look
help.
sideways, it's
Yeah,
like maybe it's a cat or it's a nose. It's a nose. That's a nose, Joe.
No way.
Turn your head. Yeah, just like you're doing. It's a nose.
Oh, you're right.
That's nice.
It definitely could be.
I don't know. I'll ask.
Yeah,
I won't ask.
Robert Litfin, you're not being featured tomorrow. I'm
There's
sorry.
his favorite card from Theros Beyond Death is Irreverent Revelers. Joe,
Okay.
how do you feel about that one?
I think it's a playable sideboard card in Limited
Okay.
because of
Sweet
the
art.
very few artifacts you might want to pick off, but certainly I would never want to touch it in my main deck.
Yeah.
And
All right.
is that a constructed playable card?
No, not at all.
No, so maybe he likes the artwork.
Yeah, it's a great looking art.
Yeah.
All right, so just taking a peek again at their boards and see if anything changes. I mean, there's nothing I really could tell that's any different. I mean, we couldn't tell a bunch from that game, but Caleb needs like a better start. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
2 lands pass, that's not what you want to do in this
No.
matchup. You're not the control deck.
Yeah. But yeah, he needs a better start, I guess. Although I'm not convinced he was even going to lose that game. He was definitely behind.
Well, he was like a Fiend Slayer Paladin away from being in
Yeah,
really great shape.
sure.
So we'll see what happens
All
in
right,
game number 3.
Now he gets to start a new game, and yeah, he gets to look at 7 cards, and maybe there's one there.
Yeah. All right, so here we go, and he leads on Soldier of the Pantheon.
All right.
Turn
That's the 2/1 protection from
multicolored.
No.
Yes, you got it.
Whenever they play multicolored spell,
You gain a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got both lines of text on that bad boy.
I'm all over it.
All right. You know, that was like a sideboard card in the blue-white mirrors back in the day. There's Deck and Stone again for this.
Well, Deck and Stone on turn 2 did contribute to him winning the first game, I guess, even though at the time I thought that was a little much.
Yeah.
And again, we see a much better creature on turn 2.
Is that Fiend Slayer Paladin in his hand? I think he's got a Fiend Slayer, and he's got a Benelish Marshal as well. That looks pretty good to me. Thud. Fiend Slayer Paladin, Joe. Robert Litfin's going to take a read on that one, and we will too in just a second, because that card is quite the beating against these mono-red decks, and it's not something you see every day. So for 3 mana, it's a 2/2 with First Strike and Lifelink. Fiend Slayer Paladin can't be the target of red or black spells your opponents control.
So
That's pretty solid.
Bone Crusher Giant can block it safely.
Yes.
Basically everything else,
Not anymore.
not so much.
Not anymore.
I guess Chandra can minus and kill it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be a lot of potential life gain starting right now.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Dauntless Bodyguard. Maybe we can find out what it's protecting. It's likely going to be
I think it's protecting the Marshal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw him point at the Marshal.
Okay.
All right. And there's Tordan.
Okay.
Now there's some blocking that could be done.
Well.
You got Brave. Did you draw Brave the Elements? Oh, he drew Unbreakable Formation. Even better.
Oh, boy. That's counter and
Indestructible.
Yeah.
And they have, I believe they have Vigilance.
Vigilance if you play it on your main phase
Yeah.
or on your turn, yeah.
All right, so Caleb's going to come smash again. And Robert's at 12. I mean.
Not for long.
Yeah, what can you even block here?
I mean, what is this Torbard even going to do? I don't even know if it's trade. I guess it's going to trade with something.
I mean, Caleb's at 22. He's about to go to 25. From the 3 points from the Fiend Slayer Paladin. I don't know how you win.
Well, it's 4 points from the Fiend Slayer Paladin, I think.
Oh, because the Marshal. Holy cow.
Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 legends in play, and we might be chump blocking with both of them.
Wow.
Well, one's going to trade. Torbjorn's going to trade. No, it's not.
It's First Strike.
Yeah, I know. It's not.
It's
not
terrible.
trading there.
All right, First Strike damage. Your things are dead. Holy cow.
Wow.
This game's over.
We could have reversed those blocks and killed something.
This game's completely over.
Oh, no, they're indestructible. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, they're indestructible,
it doesn't
man.
Matter.
All right, well, Caleb Spicer's 6-1. That was a beating.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out how the red player has a chance here. I'm like, okay, well, we can this. Oh, wait, indestructible. Never mind. Yeah.
And like, and I thought before the game that Litfin had a decent matchup because he has shocks, strikes, things like that. But Just didn't really matter.
No, but yeah, because when you're playing those cards on opponents' creatures that are cheap, you're not gaining any sort of advantage.
Right.
And then once you're a few turns into the game, the creatures in the white deck are just better.
They're just bigger and better, yeah.
And then Brave the Elements is always going to, I mean, at worst, it's going to trade 1-for-1 on even mana.
Yeah,
That's the worst that could possibly happen.
Exactly. It'll trade 1-for-1, or it's going to push through the last few points of damage.
Yeah.
And you saw Caleb Spicer push through those points of damage. I mean, unbreakable formation,
and the
man.
life gain, there's no equivalent to the life gain on the red side.
No.
I mean, the Frostline can negate the life gain, but that doesn't give you an advantage. It just takes theirs away.
Just a straight race at that point. So Caleb Spicer going to move to 6-1 and hopefully trying to find a partner like we saw. Liffin, pretty unfortunate, but let's talk about our April showdown where some of these guys and gals in the room will have a chance to punch their ticket to the Players Tour as well.
Yeah, Regional Players Tour invite, Nerd Rage Championship invite.
Yeah.
That's plus $10,000 on the line. That's a good event.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, if you've missed today's event, maybe you want to play some Modern tomorrow, which you can also do. But definitely want to mark your calendars for the March event. March 21st, 22nd is Team Constructed. But also this one is the big one, the April 4th and 5th. You know, there's a $15,000 on the line, and you mentioned the invites for the Players Tour and for our championship, and that's big time.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're coming to an April event and you want to, meet and interact with us, you should definitely make it to the showdown because I will not be at the other April event. So you got even more incentive to come to the showdown.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to see if my magnetic appeal can draw in more people.
That's awesome.
Which also means
where are you going to be?
Where am I going to be?
Yeah, where are you going to
go?
Go ahead, brag.
I'm going to the Pro Tour Finals.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Well, that's going to be a stressful couple weeks because we got the Pro Tour Finals, which I think is right after the pre-release.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, I think is the next Regional Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I got a lot going on.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Is Ikora out for your Regional Pro Tour?
What's that?
Is Ikora out?
I think it's the week before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or for the regional, I think it's 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll be the Nerd Rage commentary representative at the Pro Tour Finals.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, you failed in your bid to join me.
Yeah, I actually made it as far cash-wise as Wyatt did.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of, Wyatt at least was there.
We're bringing down the average.
I mean, you did. Did you win a match at PTQ this year?
I wonder if I played a PTQ. I don't think I have.
So you're at the bottom of the barrel.
I guess if you count like some of the other like open events as PTQs, then yes, I've won matches at PTQs.
Okay.
So I'm awesome.
So you were. We'll effectively say we'll find out how many competitive Magic players there are in the United States.
Okay.
And we'll say you were tied with last place.
That's fine.
As far as attempting to qualify.
Perfect.
That is probably a fair summary of your progress this year.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even think that's demeaning. I think that was.
I think that just was accurate.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a few minutes. Let's talk about the day overall. So we've seen these inverter decks kind of take over a bunch.
Yeah.
We've seen some weird stuff. This mono white deck. We saw Esper Control. I think we led off the morning with the black green Eldrazi deck. I don't know where that is right now.
I don't either. It seemed reasonably well structured.
Yeah.
But yeah. We've seen Command Spirits do well.
Yeah.
We've seen Lotus Breach do poorly.
Yeah. Strange. You still think you would have stuck with the Breach deck if you were playing today?
Absolutely, yes. I definitely would have. I think the deck is strong. I think I'm not going to throw away the time I spent practicing it because I think that was worthwhile, and I like the deck. I think it's very good.
Yeah, I still think Inverter is probably where I would land. It's going to be interesting to see where this format shakes out with maybe like pending bannings or something that could possibly happen.
Yeah, maybe.
And then like Ikora, when it comes out, hopefully has some more cards that change the. I mean, this set changed the format completely.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nuts how much stuff came out. Like we see Thassa's Oracle as a card. There's just tons of new cards that have come out that have changed archetypes, created new archetypes, and whatever.
I mean, the top deck was. Maybe the top deck, but Lotus Breach.
Yeah, didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Neither one of these decks existed.
And so that's why part of the reason why the format is so completely turned over is because these new decks came in. I think this Pioneer was ripe for new strongly built decks to come in and supplant some of the that's a word.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Some of the established metagame already. But then with the new printings, then it's just
I think a lot of like the Pro Tour or the Players Tour, that we saw was like some people were just wanted to remain status quo and play like the mono black deck or the mono black vampires or like
Yeah.
what people were calling it, chunky red, I think is what they were calling it. Like
Yeah.
I thought the deck was like wildly unplayable.
Yeah.
And
well,
people were still winning.
To be correct.
Yeah. People are still winning with it somehow. I think it's just a lot of it is a symptom that Pioneer's just in its infancy.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a players tour. I mean, there's events where several good players are playing at, but it wasn't like, okay, here's a testing house, here's 2 weeks, figure out the best deck and play it.
What is the card Glorybringer even doing in the format right now?
Yeah.
I mean, against the top decks, even against Sultai Delirium, which is like the third place deck, doesn't do anything there either.
Right, exactly.
I mean, against Spirits, it's fine, but it's still expensive. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like I think that deck was a clearly set up to just be slid right out of the metagame.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. There's always like these weird combos. I mean, again, and your deck that you played is still very early in the iterations.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that
can
can go different.
Yeah, it was only 2 weeks ago when Brent Voss and I think Pascal Viren and one other player kind of debuted it at the event, and there was the previous versions of the deck. And this is a scenario, and I really like historically throughout match. I think these are very cool situations where the cards are available to make not always a combo deck, but just a strong deck that were just not discovered and put together.
Yeah.
And this group realizes, hey, there's this chronic flooding, combo deck. But if we use Tome Scour, unplayable nonsense, that ties everything together. And we can increase the power of the deck 10 times with this unplayable draft comment.
Yeah, I was thinking about, like, you mentioned this Tome Scour thing, and you and I have talked a little bit about Blasting Station, just like foreshadow for tomorrow. That Blasting Station deck is outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay, like that deck and with Breach is crazy, and I can't wait to kind of see like where these cards take Modern. Also, I mean we're seeing now what's going on within Pioneer and having a more card pool. Like once you get into like the what's the Opal called, the one that's for Legends, Mox Amber, excuse me.
Yeah.
So like Mox Amber and Blasting Station with Breach. I mean you get to do some crazy things.
Definitely. We have this set of powerful Breach in particular, but the Honorable Breach entered into these formats and also had a big impact on Legacy too.
Yeah.
And Pioneer's the only format that's had kind of highest tier premier events since these cards came out. And so we'll see as, more, because things like Star City Opens, Nerd Rage events, Grand Prix, all of those events, players are working on these. Things are being developed, but it's not going to happen as rapidly as it is for the Players Tour events. And so, but over time, we're going to see some development in these other formats also. Like Modern right now is really condensed into basically
Primeval Titan decks.
And Urza decks.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was joking around before the event with people. It's like, well, you pick a dual deck and we play it. It's Primeval Titan versus Urza. And then I think that format is just ripe for the picking. Someone's going to find it and just destroy a tournament with it. So, but definitely interested. So we're going to get out of here for now. We got one more round of Swiss followed by our top 8 here today for Pioneer. So grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you want to do. We'll bring you the 8th and final round of Swiss here in just a couple minutes.